Hello everybody, this is Angelica Bloomfield at MCI Mustang Sanctuary, and in this video we're going to go over how to ask your horse to bow and lay down. So I just want to start with, not every horse is going to be comfortable or capable of executing this maneuver, whether they are just not in the right headspace or too scared of it, or if they are physically not flexible enough or comfortable. And so you just need to watch your horse's reactions and make a judgment based on what's right for your horse. So the first thing that we need to go over is the use of positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is the adding a reward to a task in order to make that behavior more likely to occur again under similar circumstances. So to do this, I use clicker training. You can use the click sound or you can use the word yes, whatever is easiest for you to say and communicate with your horse. So choose your indicator. It really could be anything. So I personally use the cluck. I just put my tongue on the roof of my mouth, make a little suction, and then just like that. And so we need to load that click. We need to make sure the horse understands that when I do my clicker, they did the right thing at that very exact moment. So it's really important that you get your timing down when you are using a clicker and positive reinforcement based training method. So to start that, what I would do is I would make my reinforcement indicator noise and then immediately go and feed my horse. And so they start to anticipate that when you make that click, that they do get a reward for it, and they really appreciate and understand that. So everything that I'm using is just, hey, pellets, you want to start or consistently use a low value treat. So that's why I like the hay pellets, because they can get a little more excited and obsessed with like carrots and really high value treats. So there is a time and place to use high value treats, but for the most part, we want to stay at a lower level of value. So when you go to give a treat to your horse, you want to make sure that you feed away from your body in front of the horse with their head straight, because you don't want to have them getting used to coming close to you and taking food from here, because we don't want them to become muggy or pushy or trying to grab the treats from us in a very close space. So only treat them way out in front. That way they understand that when they stay in that position, that's when they get their reward. You need to make sure that your horse picks up their feet consistently, gently, and patiently. So if your horse can pick up their feet, that's good. We're just going to assume everybody's horses already know that, so we can move on to the next step. So the next step is going to be getting your horse really used to ropes being around their body and their legs. So to start, I'm not going to just put this loop around their leg. I'm going to swing it around their legs to make sure that they're used to the feel. And so there's a few different ropes. You can even start with just a lead rope at first. I'm going to show you right now how to get the horse used to the ropes. But I have two different ropes here. I have more of a lunge line, and then I have more of like a different material on this one with a loop. But this is really long, so I'm going to use this one today. So I'm just going to start touching his legs with the rope, throwing them around, letting him wrap around his legs as I throw it. I want to make sure he's nice and comfortable, not bothered at all. And always want to do both sides. Just really simple. Now I'm going to bring the rope between his legs up into his chest, and I'm just going to start putting pressure on his leg and moving that rope all around, up and down, make sure that he's not going to spook at it or think that it's anything scary to him.
I'm going to use the lead rope and start to ask him to pick up his leg. And I'm just going to use my hand to hold the rope, to hold his leg up. And I'm going to click and treat while I'm holding his leg and then release.
All right, so you're going to do that over and over again until your horse is really confident with it. So I ask the horse to pick up their foot, and then I click and do my reinforcement indicator, and then I feed to reward. Hi. All right, so you don't have to use ropes for this. Like I said before, every horse is going to be different in what they're comfortable with and how they're going to learn. So some people may be able to just hold the foot up, and some may need to use the rope. So all of this needs to be done really, really slowly, one step at a time for whatever the horse is comfortable with. All right, so once your horse is good with that, now we're going to go ahead and put the rope around the horse's foot, and we're going to teach them to give the pressure and lead by that foot.
So what I'm doing here is I'm going to put the rope around his foot, and I'm going to make sure I grab the lead rope so I can help encourage him forward when he needs some help. And I'm just going to put some tension on that rope, and he's kind of trying to figure out what I'm asking of him here. There, and when he steps into the pressure, then I'm going to reward him. And I'm going to start making a little harder here. I'm going to start walking a little more. There we go. What a good boy. And then from there, I can throw the rope over his back and even lunge him around a little bit by that foot.
Okay, once your horse leads by their foot really well, our next step is to make sure that they are comfortable having a rope wrapped around their midsection. All the love. I'm gonna take the end of my rope and I'm gonna throw it around just right behind his withers. So underneath, just like you were tightening up the cinch. And I'm just gonna wrap this around him and make sure that he's okay with the ropes being under him and over his back. If your horse is saddle broke, then that should not bother them at all. So the way that we're gonna wrap the rope around the horse is very important. So I'm gonna show you. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the very first step is just what we did there. I'm going to make sure I go over the back of the horse with all of my extra lead. And I'm going to leave this loop here. I'm going to reach under, pull over all my rope. And I'm going to make sure that the long end here is behind the end that we're going to attach to the leg. And then I'll go ahead and put this around the leg, and then I'll show you guys a little bit of a close-up. Okay, this is the correct way to wrap your rope. The foot comes up behind the withers, the extra lead comes underneath, and you have to make sure that it is behind your foot rope. It's very important. All right, so for the next step here, we need to find a really soft spot of ground. Do not do this on hard ground. It could be uncomfortable for your horse. We want them to have the most pleasant experience possible, so laying in some nice fluffy sand is going to be the most comfortable.
Here, I'm just going to use the rope to lift his leg. I'm going to cinch it up around his belly so that it holds the leg at level to the ground. Once the horse is comfortable with that, we need to start rocking backwards. So I'm going to grab her rope. This is Nellie. And any little chance she steps backwards, I'm going to release and reward her for that. Just the tiniest of leans. And then we're going to just build on that, asking for a little bit more each time so long as she's comfortable. So she leans, and I'm going to ask for just a little bit more. Good. That was good effort, so I go ahead and treat her right there. And you're going to do this over and over and over again, going just a little further each time until you can get your horse to bow down. An immediate release and treat, and you work up your time. All right, this is Boomer, and he's gotten really good at this. So I'm just going to hold his leg, and ask him to come backwards and down. And he's gotten pretty good at this, so what I'm doing is asking for more duration, and I'm being very, very soft here. He's being very giving to pressure. I'm not forcing him to do anything. He is very softly waiting, and I just give really gentle corrections, and I want him to wait until I say he can get up. The reason I'm asking for more duration is because I want him to hold this pose for somebody to mount him from the ground, because he can kneel down to make the stirrup low enough for a rider to step in, and as he gets on, they can swing up over. This is another easy way to put the rope over your horse. You can just walk them over it with the loop part going underneath on their right side, and then you chuck it over to their left side. And that's another easy way to get your rope in the right position. So for Boomer, I am going to use the rope now to work on asking him to lay down, just because for him it seems to help him have a little bit more pressure on those withers to encourage him to go down. And once he goes down, I'm just going to keep using my reinforcement indicator, so I'm clicking and treating and clicking and treating. That way, him being in this position is a very positive association. And as you can see, he's very calm. We have worked up to this very slowly, and he is completely comfortable. This is what we like to see, is relaxation. And I'm just going to kind of hang out with him for a while. Same as with the bow, I want him to hold this position until I ask him to get up. Thanks for watching our video on how to get your horse to bow and lay down with and without ropes. I hope you found it informational and helpful. I hope y'all can go and apply these tricks to your own horses and that you find much success with it. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask a trainer. It is always good to work with a trainer, someone who really knows what they're doing and whose training philosophies align with yours. Having your horse perform these tasks can be really helpful, from just a cool party trick to asking your horse to bow down for you to get on, or laying down to make it even easier. I hope this works for you.